Hey, well, this is Zacchaeus. Whether not alive, whether the day God bless, God bless. Thanks for tuning in. Well, check out the looting, what's going on in Philadelphia right now. Here's the footage.
We have dramatic video of looting in Philadelphia. Police say mobs ransacked a number of stores across the city last night. 30 people were arrested, but officers say dozens of others got away. These kinds of smash and grabs have become all too common, forcing some retailers to make drastic changes. Target just announced it is closing 9 stores in some major cities, all because of the recent violence
9
and theft.
stores.
NBC's Rahema Ellis is in Philadelphia covering all of it for us. Rahema, I'll talk Target in a minute, but can we start with Philadelphia where you are? Walk us through what happened and what are you seeing there today?
Well, what happened, it happened to this Apple store. As soon as this truck moves out of the way, on the other side of it, there's an Apple store. Its windows are covered, and there's a sign in
A lot
the
of
front
looting in
saying it
Philly.
is temporarily closed because of people breaking into the store last night. Just down the street, there's a Lululemon, which was also broken into. Mannequins toppled to the floor. There is clothing that's strewn all about the floor. So those two places, as well as a Foot Locker here in Philadelphia's Center City area, they were broken into. We just got this word from authorities that some 49 adults were arrested in connection with this, 3 teenagers on charges of burglary and theft. Authorities tell us while there has been an increase in retail crime here in Philadelphia, almost about 49 people arrested. They say that what happened last night, they say it was an isolated event. Kate and Sinclair?
Crazy.
Rahema, let's talk about that big announcement coming from Target. The company says it's closing some of its stores for good because of scenes just like this. Talk to us about that decision. And do we know where they're going to close those stores?
Yeah, we do. And it's really disturbing for people in those areas because they really rely on these Target stores. They don't just sell clothing and merchandise. They also sell food in a lot of places that might have been considered food deserts once upon a time. So take a look at the
They're
map.
shutting it down because of the looting.
It shows that there's one in New York and it's also actually in East Harlem. There are 2 closing in Seattle, Washington, 3 in Portland, Oregon, and 3 in San Francisco and the Oakland area. This is a big blow, again, as I say, to the people who live in those communities. But Target is saying it's a big blow to them, too, that they cannot afford to have that kind of a deduction, a subtraction from their bottom line as a result of people breaking in on these crimes.
That's what it is, ladies and
Rahema
gentlemen.
Ellis for us.
And Kate?
Rahema, thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Thanks for watching. Stay updated about breaking news
That's
and
right,
top
ladies and
stories on
gentlemen.
the NBC News app.
That was the NBC News talking about the looting that's going on in the Target stores that are closing now. And when people go crazy when they see injustice done, the reason why they're looting. Those who don't know, the reason why there's looting and there's mayhem in the streets of Philly because a young man was murdered by the police. Mark Dale, Philly police officer Mark Dale, shot and killed Eddie Irizarry. Now I want to say condolences to the family of Eddie Irizarry, the Latino young male that's in his early 20s that got killed. Also, R.I.P. to Eddie himself. And it's sad. People get tired of injustice and they get tired of it. And this is why people loot. I don't agree 100% with looting because at the end of the day, you got to go back to the stores and get what you need. And sometimes you're looking around to find out what you need, and Target gave that. Target supplied you what you needed in certain neighborhoods. And not only the Anchor Woman was right, not only sell food, but sell clothing if you need it. But they're closing. A whole lot of they can't afford to rebuild. And there's a lot of money to rebuild. So that's why they're closing. So don't 100% agree with the looting, but people are tired. Of the injustice that's done to Black, Latino, male, and female when it comes to police contact, police brutality, police handling us. Now, Eddie was just sitting in his vehicle. Eddie was sitting in his vehicle, but they claimed he had a weapon on him, and they claimed this was 2 weeks ago when Eddie was murdered. He claimed he had a weapon on him, claimed he had some knife or weapon on him, so the police, Mark Dale, ran over to the car to where Eddie was in, and he shot inside the car and ran away. The footage is, if you want to see further of the footage, is live on other news sources. on channels if you want to check it out. But let me tell you something. This is mayhem in the streets of Philly. Why? Because Mark Dale was let off. The judge made the decision to let Officer Mark Dial walk. And because he let Mark Dial walk, all mayhem went loose. Mother said that mother and an attorney said they're gonna appeal the case. And I think it should be appealed because it's injustice. This also remind me of George Floyd when they were going crazy in the they were not going crazy in the streets. What happened was they gave the judge they let the officer get locked up, get arrested, serve some time because they didn't want to see what's happening in Philly. They didn't want the same thing to happen to that city. So that's why they allowed George. That's the only reason why that officer was arrested and locked up. Okay, let's just face facts. That officer would have got off. Although there's footage of him getting on the neck of George Floyd, he would have got off. But they don't want to lose money like how Philly is losing money. They're losing. The targets are closing down, and they can't afford to rebuild. Now, this was an injustice, and they're gonna appeal the case. This is why I always advise people to be don't be so hostile with the police when it comes to us. When it comes to dealing with us, I tell my kids that even sometimes even though listen, let me just stop myself. Even when you come, sometimes some of them are very hostile towards us too. I had to correct myself, and they can get overwhelming. And then when there's some bad apples, they get hostile, and then they take you. Then they start treating you roughly. Now, Mark Dodd didn't have to go over to the vehicle to shoot inside the car. So you had to have your gun drawn, and it could have been just to see what he was carrying. There's always a shoot first, ask questions later. There's no force continuum when it comes to some law enforcement officers. Shoot first, ask questions later. And that's how it is, and that's how it continue to be. I can be on here for hours talking about so many young black males and Latinos that got killed. Anthony Baez, some of these young black Latino males and black females that got killed because of shoot first and ask questions later. So, and this is the result. You see the looting and shooting that I'm showing you is the result of injustice. Is the result of when justice is not served, people lose their minds. And it seems like it's not gonna get better, because for us, it doesn't get better. We just gotta be mindful. We don't know who's the next victim is gonna be. This is an ongoing saga of police brutality. Ongoing saga. And it's not being solved. Until it starts happening to other people, if you know what I mean. So we gotta so we gotta pray. I pray for the family of Eddie Irizarry. And we gotta see, first and most, if this case can be retried. The family said they're gonna appeal the case, and I hope justice is hope justice is served. Hope justice is served. This young man didn't deserve to die. And we're gonna just investigate. They claim he had a gun in the car. They claim he had a weapon in the car. That's what they claim. That's what Officer Mark Dow shot in the car and ran away. But as far as the looting in the streets, which is really not gonna solve the issue of justice, not gonna solve the issue of justice. Looting in the streets and breaking into stores and destroying stores, it's not gonna really solve the issue. We gotta get to the justice system. That's what's gonna solve the issue. We gotta change the laws and regulations. That's gonna change the issue. Not the looting, not the disarray, not the city going up in mayhem. Now Target is closing a lot of, not just in Philly, they're closing, but they're closing in other cities too, because they can't afford, because they believe that there's going to be more rioting in the streets. because of the injustice that was done to Eddie Irizarry. And they're gonna close. They may close some areas. They're gonna close a lot of areas. Target is closing. Listen, I who don't go to Target? I go to Target to get some things, get a few things. You're running around and you're driving into Target. You can pick up a few things for the family. And if they're saying, according to them, if looting continues, there's gonna be more stores, more Target stores that are going to be destroyed, more department stores going to be destroyed, and Target is closing because they can't. Basically, they're saying they can't. Basically, they're saying they can't afford it to keep it open. Well, we'll see what's happening with this case now, Eddie Irizarry, and Target may go out of business, but there's injustice done for this young man, and justice needs to be done for this young man because Eddie Irizarry didn't have to lose his life. Officer could have took different precautions. What happened to the force contingent? They go straight to the firearm, they go straight to the kill. No justice, no peace. And the live word of the day is Proverbs chapter 12, verses 12. Whosoever is wicked covets the spoil of the evildoers, but the root of the righteous bears fruit. Whosoever is wicked covers the spoil of the evildoers, but the root of the righteous bears fruit. Well, this is Zacchaeus with another live word of the day. God bless and peace out there. Be safe out there. And also check out more of my videos. Check out my channel, Zacchaeus Gospel Soca. Also, can you kindly, it's free, smash that like button for me. If you like what I shared, smash that like button. I really would appreciate it. God bless and be safe out there. Peace and blessings.